Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing, for round 2 of the Challenger class, and for the first time in 3 seasons, we are back in southern Florida for the Miami Grand Prix. 12 drivers tonight, 19 corners, and we got some pretty quick drivers returning from last week. We'll get into all of that in just a second. My name is Camden Luca, clocking in at about 50% health tonight, so we'll see how tonight goes, but I am joined alongside my usual co-commentator, Mr. Golden Class, or Elite Series driver, Sir Charles. Let's pretend I did not just say that.
Yeah, I like the sound of Elite better. It sounds better. But anyway, no, I'm happy to be here. I think it's been a good race. Shout out to the people who showed up. Like you said, we have quite a few drivers who apparently this track's not good enough for them, but I digress. We're going to have fun with the drivers we have here. Should be a good show. We have XD Champs already setting out a blazing banker lap on the full wets for reasons. But yeah, we got some decent quick times getting put in already. I like S17 had a good battle here. Then clocking in at about 92% health.
Better than me.
Hamstring's been a little hot lately, I guess. I don't know. Going alright.
Yeah, XD Champ with quite the strategy here. I guess he's really trying to just get a feel for the track, but if he wants to improve, he's going to have to switch his tires, and it looks like he's about to do that.
Oh, Joby gets it all wrong through the chicane after a purple second sector. Doesn't really mean much for him. But like I said, the top few times there are fairly solid for banker laps.
Joby going through the last corner here, and you mentioned it, that chicane is going to be tricky. It's probably the tightest corner on the track, and impossible to go too wide through there. So Joby puts in a lap, a 132, that will slot him into 6th place.
That chicane really does kind of put a little stain on the rest of the track. Because the rest of the track's relatively flowy, but it's just, that chicane gets me. And I kind of get why it's there. It's the crane and the bridge and all that stuff. I still feel like there's somehow a better solution somewhere in the track design to really do it. But again, what do I know? They don't pay me to design tracks, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't get paid to do anything here. I think we should ask Seacrease for a raise. As Jabbar is on an out lap right now, he did put in a lap before, but it was invalid, so this is attempt number 2 for Jabbar.
Getting mixed reports from the drivers about the forecast, so
yeah, I just saw that. Kluka said it is dry as a bone. David said wet. Now, if I look at the attendance, David is not here, so I'm going to take Kluka's word.
That's a good point. Very good point.
As we saw Jabbar just go through that chicane, he just came out of turn 16 in Sector 3, this long back straightaway. DRS is open. The second of 2 DRS areas on this track, and let's see what kind of a lap time he can put up.
Elizabeth going up for another lap on 3-lap hold hard or softs. And now spinning it and crashing out.
Oh man.
That probably wasn't the best idea, but anyway.
Yeah, you see his car right there. He crashed out in that right-hander of turn 3. That corner can definitely get you. It's one of those corners to where you really feel like you can go flat out, but it's a little tricky on traction, so probably not the only person that's going to crash out there.
Yeah, definitely. The first 3 turns in general, there's a giant sheet of ice, which probably never happened before, actually, but so what it feels like, and the curbs are also very slick. They can spin you around quite quickly if you're not really paying attention.
Hallberg just about to start a flying lap. On the podcast yesterday, we picked Hallberg as our round 1 driver of the day. He came very close to getting his first ever podium in the league, and he went toe-to-toe with C. Rizzi, which, a friendly reminder, C. Rizzi was a Golden Class driver back in Season 16.
Yeah, I believe he's actually won a couple Golden Class. And did he ever win a Golden Class race? I feel like he did win at least one at some point.
Yeah, he won the Season 15 finale at Belgium.
Okay. Some guy flying through the first sector.
And this is somebody that we really need to keep an eye on. He won round 1 at Mexico and really looked like the fastest driver at that track. And right now, he is just 0.003 of a second off of speeding.
Yeah, he was flying through that first sector.
Let's see how he does here through this technical sector 2.
I feel like some guy probably would have ran away with the race in Mexico, but the rain kind of half a second up. That'll definitely do it for him.
All he's got to do is execute turn 17, but Kluka might have something to say about this, a 127.7.
As long as he does good in the last sector, he should still get pole. Doesn't miss the apex slightly. It's all about the exit here. Looked decent. I don't know. That wasn't the greatest last corner there. Oh, and he gets it.
Great lap. 127.5. 2/10 ahead of Kluka and almost 8/10 ahead of Speedin.
These guys are going to have some work to do.
Speedy Gunner through the chicane, executed that pretty nicely, doesn't get the best traction out of turn 16, but let's see what kind of a time the Williams driver can put up. Speedy had quite the eventful race last week in Mexico, going toe-to-toe with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, typical Speedy race, it must be said. Oh, go grab a little bit, grab too much curve there, not really going to hurt his traction off, but yeah, it's a pretty entertaining race, and considering he completely bottled the last turn there, it's a solid lap, all things considered. He'll have time to come back around and get another lap in soon.
And it should be interesting to see how he races compared to last week, because Mexico is a lot more wide open as a racetrack. The walls here in Miami are a lot closer than Mexico are.
Yeah. Soon be one of 6 U.S. Grand Prix.
Joby getting way out of the way for F1 Nerd as F1 Nerd approaches this chicane of turns 14 and 15.
Pretty good to me. A little loose, but getting that last thing's a little bit up, 2.5 tenths, but at the moment that will not improve his position any.
Let's see what he can do. His teammate is right ahead of him in P4. F1 Nerd going into this turn 17. I think that was a pretty good job.
Man, he doesn't.
Well, that's interesting. Well, you know what? I can actually see that, because like you said, he probably wasn't going to gain any positions, and there's only 4 minutes left, so I think that's a good call to come in and maybe start over.
Yeah, maybe save the tires a little bit. I don't know, I mean, it's kind of a chance. I mean, that's 2.5, 3 tenths. You got to think about the guys behind you. I mean, you don't want to. You're not just racing the guys in front of you at this point. You got to make sure you have decent enough time to stay ahead of the guys that are behind you. Joby all over the curbs through sector 1. It's not the greatest of lines, and he's still kind of all over the place. Second and a half, for a second up though, so.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the YouTube comments Zionical. It is Mr. Camden Luca and Mr. Sir Charles on the call for tonight. Joby is up by over a second and a half, so this would put him right around 9th or 10th place. So let's see how he does here in the last couple of corners.
Yeah, say if he just gets this corner decent, he should go above Whizbang. Decent to me. And there you go. Solid improvement for him. Like I said, needs to clean up the first sector a bit, but that'll probably be it for him in qualifying here.
Oh, Oreo Hafrican goes wide, but does not invalidate his lap. Goes down to neutral there.
He's really trying to get that extra rotation, I guess. Looks like Hallberg is going to be the first guys trying to set their final flyers here. He's someone who is definitely capable of faster than a 29 flat, I would say.
Oreo is going to leapfrog Whizbang and get back up into the top 10, and he might stay there because it looks like Whizbang and XD Champ are both below him, but XD Champ is going to try and improve from that 137.
That 137 set on full wets, by the way.
Yes.
It is 3.5 tenths up for Hallberg.
That would put him right around F1 Nerd's time, and last week we saw F1 Nerd didn't have the best qualifying effort, but he really excelled in the race, so might be a similar scenario here if he can't improve his lap.
Kane loses a lot of spot. He looks like he got through there really well. Maybe a little conservative. Yeah, half a second up. Looking good for Hallberg. Again, right now, it'll only improve by one spot, but you gotta think about all the guys behind him who are also on flying laps as well. Woo! There we go. Almost got Shabar there. It's off Shabar, so a little bit.
Looks like Pilot has invalidated. His qualifying might be over as he has used a good portion of the battery. Everybody else, though, seemingly on their final lap to try and improve some positions. F1 Nerd, good by 3 tenths.
Look at the things. Look at the guys in front of him that could make a big difference here. Speedin was up by a tenth. Only a tenth. This comes from chicane. Really chucks it through there, loses all the curve. Really good through the chicane. Oh, what a bit of times. Even not improving like you probably want to. So he's probably going to stay third, but again, like I said, he's got to try and improve in case the guys behind him improve. And he misses the last corner a bit. I don't think he was going to be particularly good from Speedin. Let's see what he's got to the line. Lose by about a 10. Speedy jumps up a spot for the time being. Actually, he will jump up a spot. Shabar jumps up. F1 Nerd jumps up one spot.
Hallberg ducks into the pits. Meanwhile, some guy to the line not going to improve.
Kluka does not improve either. Shabar was slightly up on his lap. Improve losing any positions, so he got a good final turn there. He does all the way up to P3. What does XD Champs got? XD only goes to P8. Not a bad time by any means, but
that will do it. So some guy doing what he did last week, first on the grid. Can he go back-to-back and start off the season 2 for 2? Kaluka looking for a bounce back as well after his DNF from last week. And Chabar up there in P3. Good qualifying from him.
Is Chabar actually Polish?
He's got some Polish identity with him. He lives in New York, though. He doesn't live in Poland, just as an FYI.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I was going to say, I'm assuming F1 Nerd just doesn't live in Abu Dhabi. I mean, it would be about 8 a.m. I guess he could.
Yeah, he is Arab, though, I believe. He's got some sort of history there. So, yeah, we got everything here in TCR, all over the world. But I do want to check on the YouTube chat. It looks like we have some support for Chabar. PC is rooting for Chabar. Not sure who you are, but thanks for your support.
Chabar is a dual citizen.
Ah, okay, interesting. I did not know that.
Apparently F1 Nerd is from Abu Dhabi, but he lives in Canada. Fun fact.
Yeah, shout out to all of you guys in the chat for pointing those things out. So, while we are waiting, I'm sure we'll get this formation lap started up, but Charles, who do you got for your podium?
This is a track where I feel like consistency and hitting your marks is going to be important, which means I am not going to step out on a limb for P1 anyway. I'm going to go some guy P1. I'm going to go Chabar P2. I feel like this is a track where someone who's smooth and consistent could really benefit. And I'm going to go F1 Nerd P3. I don't know. Kluka's just been a little too inconsistent sometimes, and I think it's a track where you really need to. I know consistency is key here, aside from outright just going fast. If you know what I mean.
So, I am also going to say that some guy picks up the victory. You see that he is the only driver starting on the hard tires, so looking for the ultimate reverse strategy. I'm actually going to say that Kaluka does finish on the podium. I think he's going to fix his mistakes from last week, and he's going to bounce back and finish in P2. And then I'll go F1 Nerd, because this is very similar to last week, to where he is starting around the midfield, but we know he's got the pace, so I'm going to go F1 Nerd P3.
Get XD Champs another.
Yep, I got him.
I don't think I have him as a friend. I might, actually. Probably check that.
Nick says Chabar is numero uno. I like that. By the way, I just want to shout out the YouTube channel. We just eclipsed 600 subscribers this past weekend, so if you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure to do so, and also hit a like on the video. It helps us out more than you would think.
One thing that's kind of we have some guy getting to the line really early, and the AI car of XD is not getting to the line at all. There he is, he's back. I'll have to wait till after the start. So, see how everyone's parking is.
I think that was perfect.
Oh, Speedy still joining. Speedy. Oh, don't blow it, Speedy. Hey, good job, everybody.
We did it. All right, round 2, the Miami Grand Prix about to start. Lights out and away we go from the Miami Grand Prix. Who gets off the line the best? It looks like Kluka gets a pretty good jump. He's going to be side by side with some guy going into turn 1. We have a car really sending it, and there's contact there. A Ferrari goes around off the start, and that is speeding after contact.
And Whizbang got a severe collision warning from turn 1. I don't know if he was the one who caused that or not.
Yeah, he was definitely the one. It was an AlphaTauri that just came flying through there, and there's a spin, though. Contact with Oreo African, and Oreo goes around.
He won't be happy. Whizbang. Looks like he was probably just in the way there, trying to get through the sector. How is everyone? Oh yeah,
he does. Yeah, he does, big time. For the lead, Kluka to the inside of some guy for the spot, some guy with the switchback. Kluka is going to keep the spot.
Alright, Hallberg and XD through the chicane. Nice to see XD is back in the lobby. He completely cuts it.
Speedy Gunner on those softs, gaining a couple of spots. Let's take a look at the positions gained and lost. Pilot up 3, Speedy up 2. And the biggest loser was Speedin after getting taken out there in the first corner.
Pilot really did a good job of navigating chaos. I was on board with him, just to see if there's any contact. Usually happens in midfield, it actually happens close up front, but yeah, top 4, top 3 really, taken off, and that's kind of what a bit of night here. Is your scoring pylon all glitched?
Yeah, I was trying to find a way to fix that, but it looks like we have a few takers after that lap 1 incident. Oreo has a penalty.
Just kind of sped into the pits. That's not what you want to do there.
Speedy getting past Pilot here for 5th spot. Pilot trying to get something on the slipstream going. It looks like he's got that straight line speed. He might make a move here into this left-hander.
Thanks a bit better. Oh, that's probably a smart move. You know, you think at least initially Speedy would be a bit faster since he has the soft tires.
As we take a look at our possible race strategies at the bottom, some guy on those hards losing the lead to Kluka here, and we'll see how the strategy works in the end, but I do like some guy's strategy.
Especially if you can stick with Kluka here. Not as worth warning with the walls being as close as they are, there is a high probability of safety car at some point. I've been surprised before. Everyone's setting fastest lap. So we have any other takers?
Oh, XD Champ late on the brakes, doesn't get into Pilot. Pilot a little squirrely on corner exit. This could be a battle here for P6.
Looking at the DRS enabled. Fun fact, F1 this year, DRS would be now be enabled in lap 2 instead of lap 3. Announced today. That'll be an interesting change.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. Definitely going to get the field closer together, but for the lead at the front, some guy getting back around Kluka. Kluka, though, going to stay to the right-hand side of him as they head into this tight Sector 2, who's going to get ahead in the chicane, and that was close. Some guy gets the lead.
And some guy really had, always almost has a bit of a tank slapper there. Yeah, some guy, I don't know why you pass there, just like Kluka, well, it depends on how much Kluka really needs to burn the battery here. But yeah, you're not going to fit two cars into that chicane, so Kluka had some guy had every right to kind of push him wide there. Some guy really getting the elbows out here. Outbreaks Kluka really easily, actually. It's surprising he's able to do that.
P5 Speedy. Yeah. And put a camera on this.
Behind him, they're side by side behind him, too.
Oh,
Two
boy.
by two into the turn one. Speedy concedes the spot. And we all get back in line. So we'll say that.
Speeding with a nice look here. He's going to have to back out, though, and Pilot will keep the spot. At the front, these two leapfrogging. Some guy misses his apex, and Kluka gets back to the lead.
Yeah, I think Pilot's faster than Speedy at this point.
Oh my goodness, look at this here. Possibly 3 wide. Chabar to the outside for the lead. The Red Bull gets a 2-for-1, but he misses the corner big time.
3 wide
here comes
for 5th. Speedy loses 2 spots. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the battle for the lead there, but there's stuff happening all over the place right here.
Yeah, you're fine. That's totally acceptable. Uh-oh, trying to go side by side. That's not going to work. They bump. Speedy gets slidey out of the corner, but they keep it straight.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Speedy might lose some more spots here. One of the things that makes Speedy so hard to get around is that he does tend to run low down for setups as well. Oh, and I think Speedy just kind of went a little wide there. It's going to be huge. Oh, Speedy, a little tank slapper there. That's actually a pretty good save on his part.
Oh, look at this. Side by side for the lead. Into turn 3, Chabar losing that spot. Boy, this is awesome right now.
Chabar goes back to P3. F1 or where did F1 nerd come from? Sorry, I've been watching this battle further back, but F1 nerd decided he wanted to dance. Now Kluka playing some DRS chicken there.
Yeah, I like that a lot. By the way, some guy down to P4, I'm pretty sure he had an issue off the final corner. He lost multiple spots. Oh, big lockup for Chabar. He's going to lose that spot. He's side by side with some guy for the podium position.
Don't hit the... Ooh, I was like, don't hit the wall, please. Now, that's kind of predicted. If you look at the battle behind Pilot, once he got clear speed, he was kind of taking off.
Yeah, Speedy down to P8 after that whole deal. And like I said, F1 Nerd, not the best qualifier so far this season, but he is very capable of making up spots and getting up to the lead during the race. And if you look at the battery, these guys have really drained it thus far. Racing super hard. Oh, look out! An issue there for Kluka. And he's lost some of his wing, and that is a safety car.
That's a soft safety car. Come on. That's the NASCAR race control there. Have a debris caution. Put it out. Racing's getting too strung out. Really interesting strat. Because it's, oh man. You could put the hards on and go to the end, but it is a relatively short pit road. Strategy time.
I think the person that this hurts the worst, unfortunately, is some guy, because he is going to have to switch off of those hards eventually. Although everybody else on the mediums and softs, like you said, could definitely take the hards to the end.
Yep, the thing is, it's a short pit road. Like I said, if you do make another pit stop, there's a good chance you could make it back up. And some guy could just go medium, or maybe, I don't know, this is a safety car definitely came out at an interesting time. Tell you who really like this, Whizbang and Oreo and Hallberg. After the first lap troubles, will be back into fight.
I think Whizbang just had an issue in turn 11. His front wing is also completely gone.
Both Mercedes in the pits are going to have a double stack here. XB stays out.
Yeah, this is really going to hurt Pilot. Look at him sitting there waiting for Kluka to change his wing.
Yeah, that's when you know it's important to have some inter-team communication there. So I guarantee Pilot would have stayed out if he knew he had to change his wing. If it was a normal double stack, he probably wouldn't have lost any spots, but he'll be back behind his good friend Speedy Gunner, which I'm sure he is thrilled about.
Yeah. So now this does change things up, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like Kluka's safety car actually helped him. He is the first one on hard tires, and he could probably make it to the end of the race.
Yeah, he's going to have better tires than probably everyone in front of him, at least off the bat. I mean, yeah, it's going to be up to F1 Nerd and some guy when you pit to chase down Camden or Kluka. Sorry, Camden, I'm talking to you.
I'm in the booth right now.
Anyway.
Hey, yeah, I would love to race on Tuesdays again. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't like that safety car, which we think was for Kluka. It could have been for Whizbang, but it's just like, I mean, Kluka made a big mistake there, and he's basically coming out better for it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is what it is. That's how it goes sometimes.
I find it interesting that both Red Bulls stayed out. If you flash back to last week, Chabar and F1 Nerd initially both stayed out on wet tires when the conditions were changing over. Chabar took those to the end, and it hurt him. He actually didn't get any points during the sprint race.
That's a shame for Pilot. Like I said, he's probably thinking himself that he pitted there, because I think he has a decent pace, maybe pace for the top 4 there. Maybe top 5, including Kluka there, but now it's going to be, he has to get through Speedy again.
Yeah.
And make quicker work of him than he did the first time, but I'm sure he's a bit frustrated.
Speedy up 2 spots out of the pit lane. He is starting right behind Kluka, and we know that Speedy goes for every position, so this could be a good battle here for net P1 on track based on strategy. Kluka down on neutral right there.
I think the key for the guys up front is if they can somehow break away. For instance, if F1 Nerd can somehow break away from all the battles behind it. You're going to have a pretty flawless race if you're in the top group who hasn't pitted in order to really get a good result here.
Safety car in this lap. F1 Nerd has control of the restart. How fast will he go? He's creeping down below 50 miles an hour. He's probably going to get the jump here on some guy because of those medium tires. Down to 35 miles an hour, F1 Nerd taking this at a crawling pace. Look at the stack up here. As they enter turn 17, when will he hit the power? He hits it now, and we are back underway.
Oh, some guy had a big tank slapper there, and F1 Nerd is going to take off. thinks Chabar is going to take advantage of it. Or did he? No, I think Chabar jumped the gun and gave the position back. Almost timed that perfectly.
Oh, bad restart for Speedy. He's down to 7th, possibly 8th. We have trouble at the back. Joby has gone around and he has lost his wing.
Some guy has lost 2 spots. He had another huge tank slapper. Some guy's going off track everywhere, speeding around the outside. Here comes... Oh, Kluka is getting swamped here. That's passed by Speedin and Pilot. Here comes Speedy, probably dumping the battery.
Oh,
Speedy
look
has nowhere to go. He's pinned to him.
Look at this mess here. Wow.
Speedy! Oh! Speedy almost ran into the back of Speedin. Similar names here. Oh, XD champs. Good, and this is exactly, like I said, what I was saying. At the 2 Red Bulls, they can just get away from the pack. I think they'll be in a good spot to pit, and they'll be able to run these guys down at the end.
Speed and looking on XD Champ for P3 side by side into turn 17. XD Champ not going to back out. He runs him a little bit wide here.
Kluka just ran into Speedy, and Speedy got one around. Some guy apparently had wing damage, and that's why he was slow and kind of but yeah, Kluka Speedy out there. And I'm sure Speedy won't be happy about that. It's bad to worse for Kluka.
Does he have wing damage? That is the question.
I don't think so, because he had an opportunity to pit. He didn't. So much for the Merc engine truce there, Speedy. That didn't quite plan out.
Yeah, it looked like Kluka was going to lose a bunch of spots there on the restart, going down to 8th. He's going up to 4th right now as he makes a move on XD Champ.
Lock up from XD there. It's not going to help him. Now Pilot is going to be all over him. You know, Speedin has actually managed to catch the 2 Red Bulls here, so good job by Speedin.
He is outside of DRS range, though. He needs to get a little bit more.
I mean, it was 1.8 seconds a lap ago, so... Oh, there's a bit of a tank slapper from XD, and that caused us... Actually worked out for him. That caused us Pilot to have to check up there. I was thinking the Red Bulls might have been in a decent spot, but I think the Morris pans out and like Speed and Kluka are in pretty good spots here.
Yeah, look at Speed and all over Chabar now for that 2nd position, and he's going to have DRS, so this should be an easy overtake.
I think Chabar's going to have DRS as well. Pilot should get XD champs pretty easily here in this straight. They would release that straight. P2 switches hands, so is P5, I think. So, Pilot. Ooh, kind of squeezed him out a bit, but I'm surprised XD didn't concede the position regardless. I'm sure he wouldn't be too terribly happy about that. But that's what it is. We move on.
Speedin now
Pilot,
looking for the lead.
once again, Pilot finally gets through the mess, but he's, again, a good ways behind the top 4. Ooh, well, and Chabar goes straight to the turn there, buddy.
Track's over here, buddy.
I'd imagine Speedin will take the lead here shortly. Now, if you're the Red Bulls, you got to be thinking, okay, when do we pit? As you saw, F1 Nerd, your leader, had a little bit of a moment there through turn 3. this overtake here. He buys, whoa, okay, get out of the wall. That was interesting.
Haha, that's one way of doing it. Into the wall and into the lead.
Speed had made that difficult, a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. Steve loses another one to Hallberg. Where XD got spun somehow, or went wide.
Yeah, he completely just missed the corner and slammed on the brakes. Not sure what happened there.
That's interesting. Yeah, but now Pilot has made up a second and a half on Chibar. One lap. So yeah, then F1 Nerd does get Speedin dives it in there, taking advantage of the extra traction he has. Ooh, he has to back out of this. Could let Kluka get a run here. Kluka's got a big run. He's looking. Oh, and Speedin almost hits the back of F1 Nerd. Yeah, that's worked out well for F1 Nerd. Speedin had to play defense there for a while. Now it's a 5-car train at the front as Pilot has joined the party.
Pilot all over Chabar for that position, and Pilot on the hard tires. Chabar probably should pit soon off of those mediums.
I think Chabar is going to miss DRS as well. I'll tell you who's slowly creeping into the picture, who we hadn't talked about because it was lap 1 incident, is Hallberg. Simple overtake. That's how easy to pass the lead should have been a lap ago.
Speaking of the lead, though, Speedin gets a time penalty.
I really hate that corner cutting penalty when you go right next to the wall on the chicane. If you're going to put a wall there, you should be able to go as close to the wall as possible, like Monaco. But it's such a stupid place to get a time penalty. Like, I don't know. I sympathize with speed in there, because that penalty's kind of dumb, in my opinion.
Ooh, bad exit for F1 Nerd. Speedin has 0.7 of a second now, which is good considering his penalty.
F1 Nerd, probably going to be outside of DRS. Kluka should have an easy overtake coming straight away. The Mercedes and the Red Bulls, where have we seen this before?
Haha, all the time. Oh, but he hits him though! Big contact!
Kluka doesn't want to spend a second driver here today.
Yeah, that's a lot of penalty points right there.
Kluka's going to have an easy overtake here. I would imagine his teammate would follow him through. Mercedes superiority.
Trouble at the back, though. XD Champ had a spin. His race started off well, but now it's going downhill. There's contact, though. Chabar gets pinched into the wall by Hallberg, and he's lost his front wing. Virtual safety car.
Oof. And, oh, man. But if you're the Red Bulls, this could be perfect for the Red Bulls. Hit now. Have extra tires, not lose as much time. Although, see how long the VSC stays out, and you have guys at the back like Speedy, XD Champs are just yelling at their monitors right now. That virtual safety car does not help them whatsoever.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I just caught that at the end. It looked like they went side by side into that right-hander of turn 12, and Chabar got pinched.
Pilot's going to inherit the lead here. Hallberg will go in seconds. The leader pitted. Oh, and just as they come into the pits, of course Chabar has to pit, so that VSC really will not help them as much as they need to. And I think Pilot might have just had a bit of a lucky stroke there, because you have the guys like Speedin and F1 Nerd and bring some guy pulled it back into the picture, but yeah, this could really hurt Speedin, because I mean he was looking good there. But yeah, he's gonna have a lot of time to make up on those mediums. Let's just go to the menu here. Speedy's got 17 seconds to go here, plus 3 seconds. Got some guy right on him. Whiz bang. Yeah, Hallberg and Pilot might have just pulled a fast one here. Still a long way to go in the race, though.
I think Speedin's going to send it here on Whizbang. Speedin just came out of the pits right behind he and Oreo. He's going to get Whizbang. Can he get Oreo? But some guy also trying to make an overtake. This could be double file here through the chicane.
Oh.
Joby, though, is out. And there's a bit of contact. Doesn't matter, though. Safety car.
Whoa, what was the safety car for? Oh,
Joby.
Oh, and this is perfect for Pilot and Hallberg. They're going to pit, get fresh tires, and be ahead of all these guys. They should be, anyway. But they don't pit! They didn't pit! Are
Why?
you kidding me, guys?
Why would you not pit there?
The race was just given to you in a bow. Oh my gosh. Especially for Pilot, because I know Pilot has the pace. Oh my word.
Well, even then, I mean, with Hallberg, like, Hallberg's, like, well, okay, that might actually be true. Oh, what is going on here?
The Pilot just forgot there was a safety car there, but this is going to help some guy. Just get some guy and all those guys I was talking about earlier, Shabar, XD, Speedy, all those guys back into the race.
Oh, but look at this, though. Some guy is getting trapped by Oreo here in the pit lane. He's going to lose a lot of time.
Don't really think it matters, though. He's just going to be out and XD retires. Alright, everyone else just finish the race and you get points. But yeah, I think some guy, he's just going to be happy to be back. Shabar, I would have pitted again, put on some mediums now. And Pilot and Hallberg just threw away perfect opportunities to get podiums or even wins.
Yeah, I disagree with that call as well. I think that was a perfect time for at least Pilot, but I do want to take a look at Hallberg's strategy because Hallberg did start on mediums. He's used mediums twice, so maybe those won't go to the end, but I still would have pit here because, I mean, I don't know, but maybe Hallberg made the right decision, but Pilot, I definitely am not sure about. Well, actually, let me look. Pilot did start on the mediums as well, so maybe the mediums won't go to the end from here.
They definitely should. I mean, everyone else put on mediums. I mean, they're going to be so much faster at the beginning. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, old hard. Yeah, this is a losing proposition. I don't know. And now he pits. Yeah,
okay.
Lap too late there, buddy. I mean, he had an opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Yeah, and now he's going to be in 9th place.
Yeah, so now I disagree because you could have easily pit that previous lap if you were going to do this strategy. You see, he does have fresh medium, so yeah, I definitely think he made the wrong decision here.
Yeah, it's just... Anyway, it's helped cheer bar, and I'm even the Red Bull, I mean, shoot. The Red Bulls are going to be slow here to start, too. I mean, because they're on hards. Me.
It's almost super funny to think about, but remember, the first safety car came out, and Kluka actually benefited from that. And now Chabar, after his virtual safety car, it looks like he really hasn't lost much ground when it comes to his potential to get a podium here. So a lot of incidents have happened. Remember, Hallberg is leading right now. Hallberg got into a crash on lap 1. I mean, how many people haven't gotten into incidents? That's the question.
Speed's been pretty clean.
He got hit by Kluka, right?
I don't think so. That was Speedy. The others.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, safety car in this lap. We have a Ferrari 1-2. Hallberg will get to control this restart. When will he go? That is the question, though.
Now it's Ferrari versus Red Bull versus Mercedes.
We're back underway. Hallberg, a decent restart, but Speedin is right there.
Now we'll see if Hallberg can be a rear gunner for his Ferrari teammates. I imagine Speedin will take quick work of him. But 3-second time penalty, he could use all the help he could get from his teammate here. Team communication, that would have been a perfect opportunity right there to pull a switch. Would be risky though.
Speedin backs up his entry, gets a good launch. He might get this overtake done.
Top four all over each other. Some guy already up one spot past his teammate. Dumping the battery here. Yep, and Speedin just uses the extra grip, maybe driving into the brakes, and crucially, Hallberg is between him and F1 Nerd. Is going to be great for Speedin. Remember, he has to pull a 3-second gap as well.
Oh, look out! Big moment there for Whizbang. He gets sideways in the chicane and he loses 2 spots.
I wonder if he had some help from some guy on a mission. Shooting himself in the foot, looked like earlier. F1 Nerd gets Hallberg.
Not yet.
Now it's Kluka's turn.
Kluka to the inside for P3 should be an easy overtake. Well, Hallberg holding strong. Oh, they are tight. Oh, and there's contact there. They bump.
Yeah, I think that could have been done a little bit better. But
illegal overtake for Kluka right there. I think that's what that was.
It's probably hot under the helmet now.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Trabar has climbed back into it. Brought some guy with him.
Wow, lots of battles here. P3 switching hands again. Kluka gets that spot back. He is already blinking on the battery.
Yeah, that doesn't bode particularly well. I mean, he should be able to pull away from Hallberg, but you know how difficult Hallberg wants to make his life, you know. But Hallberg doesn't get through the chicane particularly well. Kluka gets a good exit. Whizbang 3-second time penalty. Now looks like the overtake should be open on Hallberg. Chabar's turn. Soon it's going to be some guy's turn as Chabar pushes Hallberg wide. Easy overtake for some guy. And this is why you should have pitted.
Yeah.
Even if you pit a lap later, Pilot's about to overtake Hallberg, so even if you did hit a lap later, well, not ideal. Some guy is all over Chabar, and we're going to have Pilot all over Hallberg. Dueling overtakes down the next DRS straight, looks like.
Yeah, this should be 2 overtakes right here. The first one, some guy on Chabar. It's really close, trying to get that side draft, and he will get him. Behind them, Hallberg and Pilot trying to switch hands, but Pilot doesn't have him just yet. Hallberg is fighting back.
Pilot gives him a little bit of room, kind of pushed him a little bit wide. Good overtake there. Pilot probably got a warning there for cutting the chicane.
And now you got to think about Speedy Gunner as the next driver to get Hallberg. Hallberg down to 5% on the battery. He is in no man's land right now.
Speedy just needs to be patient here. He should have an easy overtake in a few corners here. Now it's going to be Pilot. Oh, and Hallberg. Did Hallberg hit? I think
No.
Hallberg just had a bit of a tank slapper or something. Speedy dumped the battery. I don't know. Either way, Speedy got a good easy.
I do want to check in on the lead because the gap is actually getting bigger between Speedin and F1 Nerd. Speedin needs to get another second and a half though if he wants to win this race.
Yeah. The hards probably will be slightly better towards the end. Right now, the mediums are still the better tires, so. And now, Pilot on Jabbar. Twin Pilot, he's got to be kicking himself. Once again, he's back up to 5th after making. Pilot's probably overtaking the most cars today, if we're being honest, but. Some guy on Kluka.
Yeah, good bounce back day for some guy. He's been to the back a couple of times. He could, yeah, he definitely could.
Yeah, pass F1 Nerd, saving 3 seconds of speeding.
Kluka's still there, though. I mean, he could still get DRS, but he's at a pretty big disadvantage with the battery and with the tires. So this might be a pretty good thing for some guy. And yeah, this is not over. Yeah, there's a lap of difference, but yeah, they're pretty similar.
I mean, that lap's under safety car, so.
True. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean, let's just look at the gap. I mean, 0.8 of a second in one sector. Yeah, this is... Toto might want to call down for the swap, guys. But, you know, just as soon as you say the gap is increasing at the front, F1 Nerd is almost in DRS range. In fact, he is there. He's definitely there because Speed didn't get through the chicane particularly well.
He's got DRS. There he is. .5 of a second, lap 23. Speedin, after missing the first round, looking to bounce back and win this race, but he's got that penalty, so F1 Nerd, all F1 Nerd needs to do is not get any more warnings, and he should be in a good spot.
F1 Nerd just picked up his second warning on that last lap. Keeping an eye on, you can't have any more. Willie, I think he's going to go for it right here. For the lead. F1 Nerd. Gets it done. Pretty simple.
F1 Nerd really leaving, starting where he left off from last season, looking to finish second and first here in the first two races.
Some guy, he has closed in a little bit. Speed, so I think he's going to have another go at it, and this is not what F1 Nerd needs. Does not need to be battling. It's going to allow some guy, he's closing, but he's not closing as fast as I thought he would.
F1 Nerd takes a peek. Speedin gives him the space. They're going to be side by side in turn 2. Speedin gets the better line. F1 Nerd, though, he will have DRS, but like you said, this has allowed some guy to close in.
Pilot got around Kluka. Kluka has dropped out of DRS range. I'm sure Kluka made a mistake or what happened to him. Just an overtake. He's dropped back to 5th and well out of the DRS range. Pilot, as it stands, could get a podium, and I kind of want him to get a podium because I kind of want to ask him about his strategy. Yeah, from Owen Jabari's company, from pulling a Ferrari strategy, if you will, to potentially still getting the podium. Does not look like Speedin is going to be able to overtake this time. And now with F1 Nerd ahead, assuming F1 Nerd can just hit his marks over the next couple laps, he should. Oh, so as soon as I say that, he almost has a bit of a tank flapper there. But if F1 Nerd can just put together a good couple laps here, he should be able to pull away from Speedin, I would think. Man, he's getting a little slidey here.
Oh,
bit of a battle.
Wide line there for Speedin, almost going into the wall.
Yeah, the battle for the lead, I feel like F1 Nerd should just be able to drive off into the sunset here, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happening.
Take a look at this. Some guy, he might be in DRS range right here. He is.
He got it, and that's probably causing Pilot to curse under his breath. It looks like he's away, speeding back to the lead. F1 Nerd cannot be happy. Here we go, battle for the net lead. Some guy, mostly through thanks of Speedin, has caught this pack, and Pilot is there too. So it's going to be a 4-car battle for the lead. I don't think Kluka has damage or something, because he's dropped back even further.
I don't see any damage from his point of view. He just might not have the pace at the moment.
I mean, he's dropping.
4 laps to go, Speedin with a penalty, but we did mention how F1 Nerd has 2 warnings, so this is not over for Speedin, especially if all 4 of these guys get racy. I mean, Pilot could win this race.
Then he'd probably be like, oh, it was all part of the plan, see?
Well, let's see what F1 Nerd has up his sleeve here. Down the back straightaway, can he get past Speedin?
Speedin is blinking. If I was F1 Nerd, I'd save the battery. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of battery to be there, but I'd save it for the main DRS straight. Where's he going to go? He's going to go to the outside, or try to go inside there, because you know Speedin's going to battle, but Speedin leaves him room. But now F1 Nerd or some guy is going to get through. Nope, Speedin sticks it in there. Good racing. Should mean F1 Nerd is safe, at least for this straightaway.
Look at the gap. F1 Nerd really excelled through there. He is outside of DRS range, and now some guy needs to go hunt him down.
Here comes Pilot. I think Pilot's just as fast as some guy, but now he's got Speedin in his way.
Some guy needs to get a little bit more here if he wants to guarantee himself to get DRS here on this back straightaway. This is not over.
Speedin, another penalty.
Yeah, that will close his chances at a podium and maybe even a top 5.
Yeah, this is impressive from some guys. Right now, I'd say the hards would be the better tire to be on. He closes right up on F1 Nerd. Now, Pilot's probably just screaming, get out of the way. Wants to go up here and fight for the win.
Ooh, a bit of a tank slapper by F1er. This will allow some guy to possibly make this overtake done. The possible fight for the championship. The two fastest drivers going head-to-head once again this week. Some guy to the left-hand side, he is going to get the lead.
And 2 laps to go here. This has been a great drive from some guy here. Thought he was down and out.
Speedin's still there, possibly to make some noise. Pilot is just right at the border of DRS.
Yeah, maybe the hards aren't as good as they would be, because, you know, just not only does F1 Nerd appear to be struggling a bit, but looking at Chabar, seems to be losing time to Speedy Gunner back for the battle for P6 there, so maybe the hards just aren't performing I think they would at the end of this race. See some guy blinking. F1 Nerd doesn't have a whole lot of battery to play with, but he is saving what battery he does have. Just an extra little, you know, as much as, you know, 9-10% can make all the difference if it comes down to the final straightaway, but you gotta be close, and F1 Nerd almost threw it away right there.
Final lap, some guy looking to start the season off 2 for 2, kind of resembling last week, a battle between he and F1 Nerd, and F1 Nerd needs to do something here if he wants to win this race.
And he's got Speedin all over his mirrors. He just has to focus forward. Hopefully Speedin's smart here, and I mean, I understand he wants to race for pride, but don't. You have 6 seconds of penalties here. Don't interfere with these two guys. Let them race each other, and, you know, who knows, maybe get lucky and he takes each other out.
Here we go, back straightaway. This might be the last chance for F1 Nerd. Let's see if he can do this here. He's going to save his battery, maybe for the other straightaway. Some guy is blinking, though. F1 Nerd closing the gap in, and he's going to stay in line.
It's so hard to get through the chicane right on the back of someone's gearbox. Oh man, it's such a hard opportunity to pass up there. Oh, he blew it! He blew it! He ran into the wall! Oh man, I saw that coming from a mile away, and now he's got to worry about possibly getting overtaken for P2, because he's definitely missing part of his wing.
Some guy, what a comeback. After being down towards the back end of the grid, he makes his way all the way up to the lead, and he will start the season 2 for 2. Some guy is going to win the Miami Grand Prix Round 2.
Ooh, F1 Nerd is going to be kicking himself for not taking that chance. Kluka gets P4 off Speedin's penalties. Chabar will be P6 on track, but I think Speedy's going to get him. Hallberg coulda, woulda, shoulda. Not the correct strategy. There are so many guys who could have won this race at some point during this race. I mean, you really think like that the entire top 5 and Hallberg, they probably all had a shot at winning this race at some point. A legit shot at winning this race at some point during the race.
Yeah, what a battle. 2 weeks in a row, really, of good battles for the win. This one definitely takes the cake, though.
Yeah. Yeah, great drive. I mean, great drive from some guy. Can't really say much else, honestly. But yeah, a lot of really good racing too. Like I said, there's some ups out stuff, but didn't really, a few mistakes here and there. Obviously, whiz bang, turn one, probably mental lockup. Um, Kluka an actual lockup when he hit Speedy. Um, a few mistakes here and there, but for the most part, I mean, really good, aggressive racing that, really went pretty well. And oh man, if F1 Nerd would have used his battery, I know some guy would have been a sitting duck for some guy. And some guy gets the fastest lap as well, so max points for him. But F1 Nerd's gonna be kicking himself because he had a chance. He really had a chance there, but yeah.
And I'm not sure if we're going to get some guy in for an interview. Last week, he literally won the race, got off, and went to bed. I saw he just left the lobby now. So what we'll do is, because Pilot is on PC, we'll get this up in the Discord. We'll go into the comms chat on there, and we'll see what these guys have to say. I am curious as to what F1 Nerd has to say, because, like you said, he was so close. And
I'm curious what all these guys have to say. I mean, we had some guy kind of getting into the wall by himself, thinking he was out of the race, coming back. F1 Nerd had a shot at winning, bended into the wall. Pilot had a shot at winning, no idea what he was doing to the strategy. Still ended up with a shot at winning somehow. But yeah, that was oh man, that race was all over the place. Better than them wacky rain races we had at Mexico, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm really glad that this race was dry all the way. It was just, a pure race for the win, and yeah, that was definitely good to see. I will get this podium up in the comms don't join chat, so if you want to head on over there, we can do the interviews there.
Sounds good. Also, for those of you watching, if you have any questions for our top 30, feel free to leave them in the comments.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did see a lot of comments coming in through both the Twitch and the YouTube, so you guys really came to play today in the comment section, so we appreciate that. And I did just see that Speedy just put in a ticket for Kluka for that incident earlier, so maybe positions will switch between those two in the end. All right, looks like we got two of our guys in here. I think, Charles, if you want to hop on over, I think we're going to start right now because I'm not sure about some guy status, but we're going to start with P3 Pilot. Man, quite the up and down race for you. There was a point in the end there to where you possibly could have gotten the win if you were able to overtake those guys. So, yeah, just talk about how you think your race went.
Qualifying started off not too great. I only got one lap in, so I had a lot to do during the race, but overall it went pretty well. I mean, I was able to overtake people, and once I made the overtakes, I actually had really solid pace. I think the deciding factor at the end was that I didn't pit when the safety car came out. I think had I pit, I would have had a much better chance at the win, but I just left it out another lap and had to overtake the rest of the field all over again.
Yeah, Charles and I both noticed that you and Hallberg stayed out there under that safety car. What was going through your mind there? Were you thinking that staying out was initially going to be good and then you changed your mind, or what happened there?
Well, the safety car came out as I was going through the last turn, so I didn't have much time to react, and I didn't have another set of cars, which is what I would have ideally went on to, and I didn't know if mediums would be able to make it to the end, and just with not enough time, I just didn't go into the pits, and then halfway through the lap decided I probably should, so.
Gotcha. Charles, you got any questions for Mr. Pilot?
Yeah,
I don't really have any questions, but how was overtaking the field about 3 times? I feel like you made the most overtakes of anyone today by far. You had to come through the field a bunch. I guess going back to your strategy, the Hallberg finish, I think you definitely made even though you probably should have come into pit the first time, you definitely ultimately made the right decision to pit. But I guess how was coming through the field multiple times? It seemed like you seemed to make it work completely overtook. It took a lot of cars today, so how was that? Yeah, it was really challenging, and I mean, some of the drivers, it was like really hard battles, really close, but it was all really fair. It worked out really well, and I'm just happy that I made it through alive. Did you think you maybe had a shot at the win there, with speed kind of between you and top two there? You kind of want him to get out of the way, or did you ever think you had a shot at the win at the end? I think after Kluka let me by, I thought I had a decent shot. My pace was really good, but once I caught up to the back, my tires were just too far gone, and I wasn't going to be able to overtake, and that's when I realized that my best shot was getting a podium and just staying within that time penalty window that he had. That's all I got. A really good race. Congrats on the podium. All I got, Camden.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, man, congrats on the P3, and good bounce back from you, because I know everybody pretty much had an up and down race, but with you especially, to get a podium, it's pretty impressive. So congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now we move up to P2 F1 Nerd. Man, once again this week, just very close to getting the win done. We did notice that it seemed like your tires kind of fell off compared to the people around you. So just talk about the tires there at the end. Do you think that was the difference?
Well, yeah, no, yes and no, I'd say, because at the start, like, of course, I might on the hards be tough to like kind of get them warmed up. But then I think I pushed too much to start just to keep up with speed in, because everyone around me was on fresh medium. So that was probably a factor. Or then I was kind of pushing the throttle too fast in the beginning. Maybe it caused me like rear spin and probably caused a tire wear. But yeah. At the end, it was fine because I saw the mediums were going off, because I think Pilot was he was catching up at a certain point, but then at a certain point he stopped. So then once I got by speeding, I was just waiting to pounce on some guy. But yeah, it was just me pushing too hard, I'd say.
And I have noticed in the first two races, it's really kind of been copy and paste of what happened at Mexico, because you qualified around midway through the grid. You were able to make your way up to the front, and in the end, it was you and some guy finishing first and second. So, I mean, we're only two races in, right? But is it a little frustrating that you've come close to getting both wins, or are you just focused on trying to be consistent and just not worry about that?
I mean, well, the first round was, I guess, it was like a one-off thing, I'd say, because Mexico wasn't my best. But I definitely should have qualified better this race. I made too many mistakes, so that's on me again. But no, I should have qualified better and then executed the win, like executed the overtake at the end better. Because I think I just fumbled the win, honestly. But yeah.
And I actually do have one more question before I hand this over to Charles. We did catch the very end of Chabar and Hallberg's incident. It looked like Hallberg squeezed Chabar into the wall there. Do you have any info? Did Chabar say something as to what happened there?
Oh, weird. That's weird. He did not. Didn't know about that.
Oh.
I just knew he got a time penalty. He said he might be able to get it removed. Yeah, that's all. He might have told me, I guess, but I was too focused. But yeah, I don't recall hearing that from him.
Interesting. Charles, you got any questions for F1 Nerd?
Yeah, you kind of alluded to it, but I guess I'll ask the painful question. Take me through that last lap because you had a chance to overtake some guy, decided to save your battery, and then you hit the wall really before you could use it. Take me back through that. I mean, what would you do differently? Would you try to overtake them when you first had a chance? Just take us through that last lap.
The amount of time after the amount of times I've been overtaken on the straight in the last lap, I've learned my lesson, and I decided to wait until that last straight because I knew the DRS there is like really powerful because even with like 5% battery, it's still gonna help you a lot. So I just decided to wait until the last straight, and then I kind of just went in too early in the corner and just hit the wall, so my car got kind of stuck. And yeah, that just took away any chance of me getting the win. But yeah, probably should have. I just probably should have avoided that mistake. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Besides, coming up short and, the little blunder there in the chicane, still a very good race from you. I think you and some guy are definitely going to be the favorites for the championship this season. And we are going to Canada next week. So any just quick thoughts on that and just how you're feeling about that race?
Probably, yeah, it's the 3-tire special, isn't it? So it's like kind of
correct.
Exciting, I guess. Strategy is how you win that race, I guess, and then home race. So I definitely got to get the win. But after today's strategy execution, I'd say just keep practicing the strategies, go over them again, and not do the same mistake as this race. But excited for the 3-tire special.
And we will be in Canada next week for the Challenger class. Tomorrow night, we still have a race here in Miami for the Elite Series. And then Thursday will be the season opener for the new iRacing Super Formula Series. But before we get to those, Charles, I was going to do this last week, but I forgot to do this. Do you have a one-word description for this race?
I don't know. I don't like that question. It puts you on the spot too much.
All right. Yeah. Do you got any or no pressure?
Eventful? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit of a cliche one, but yeah, it was definitely eventful.
Yeah. I'm gonna go unexpected because we had a safety car earlier, which probably shouldn't have been a safety car. And then we had another one about halfway through the race. Strategy got all mixed up, and then we ended up having a battle with some guy for the win, and some guy had a great comeback coming from all the way at the back, basically, to getting the win. So I'll go unpredictable for my word. But that will do it for round 2 of the Challenger Series. Next week, we will be in Canada, but we still have 2 more races this week, so make sure to tune in for that. My name is Camden Luca, that is Sir Charles, and we will see you next week in Canada.